king of German mercenaries.
Chapter 126 Xiaomi cannot recruit, the guy has not graduated. After getting the parchment trading license issued by the Holy See, Marin was unwilling to deal with the Borgia family anymore. You know, this family is all mafia. If they are happy and give him a glass of poisoned wine with highly toxic Cantrera, he will be finished. In order to prevent Caesar from forcing him to drink poisoned wine, Marin even bought a mule to be ready to detoxify at any time. Fortunately, Caesar Borgia did not take him seriously and did not invite him to drink a glass of wine. Marin was very lucky that even if he was thirsty, he did not dare to drink water from Caesar or the Vatican. After completing the formalities, Marin continued his career of recruiting talents. In addition to Leonardo da Vinci, Marin set his sights on two other great figures, Michelangelo and Copernicus. Michelangelo was in Rome at this time. As a master of sculpture, Michelangelo had already become famous as early as 1496 and attracted the attention of the Vatican. He was invited to Rome to help sculpt statues. Although Alexander VI was a greedy and vicious pope, he was very supportive of art. Therefore, during his tenure as pope, art in Rome flourished. It would be difficult for a young man like Michelangelo, who was just in his early 20s, to make a name for himself under normal circumstances. However, during the reign of Alexander VI, a large number of statues of gods and historical figures needed to be carved. Therefore, Michelangelo, who came to Rome, got the opportunity to show his skills. At the age of only 22, he is now a well-known sculptor in Rome. Marin visited Michelangelo in the evening and tried to recruit him. However, Michelangelo was already immersed in the ocean of art in Rome. Moreover, he had many orders from the Holy See that had not been completed and was very busy. Therefore, he declined Marin's recruitment. Marin was helpless and did not dare to use the method of knock out and take away that he used to deal with Leonardo da Vinci. Why? Leonardo da Vinci only worked for the Duke of Milan, and kidnapping Leonardo da Vinci would only offend the Duke of Milan. The Duke of Milan only had great influence in Milan, and outside of Milan, he had nothing. Moreover, the Duke of Milan was only the uncle of Maximilian I's current queen, Bianca Maria Sforza, not his father. Even if Maximilian I knew that Marin had kidnapped Leonardo da Vinci, he would not support the Duke of Milan infinitely for the sake of an artist. Moreover, it is said that the previous Duke of Milan, John Sforza, the brother of Bianca Maria Sforza, was killed by the current Duke of Milan, Ludovico Sforza. Therefore, Maximilian I and the Duke of Milan were not very close, and the two sides stood together more because of their opposition to France. Therefore, in this situation, even if Marin forcibly abducted Leonardo da Vinci and offended Ludovico Sforza, it would not be a big deal for the knight. But Michelangelo is different. Michelangelo is now serving the Vatican. To put it in a more exaggerated way, Michelangelo is now serving God. If Marin dared to use the same trick he used against da Vinci, knocking him unconscious and taking him away, he would be wanted by the Vatican the next day. Damn it, daring to forcibly abduct the artist who carved the statue is simply a naked provocation to the Holy See. Once he is wanted by the Holy See, if he is found out, Marin will be dead. Therefore, Marin did not dare to use violence against Michelangelo, and could only recruit him with words and offer him a high salary. However, like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo had no interest in going to a remote island like Texel. He was already immersed in the ocean of Roman art and had no time to care about Marin. Marin had no choice but to leave Michelangelo's residence in dismay and give up the recruitment. After that, Marin thought of Copernicus. However, Copernicus was not in Rome at the moment, but was attending university in Bologna. So Marin led his men to leave Rome and head straight to Bologna. Arriving at the famous University of Bologna, Marin easily found the Polish Copernicus. The boy is still very young. Although he is 24 years old, he has just been in Italy for more than a year. Now, the boy is only a sophomore. Recently, Copernicus seemed to have been appreciated by de Nevera, an astronomer at the University of Bologna, and was studying astronomy. Marin was shocked and knew that something was wrong. It was because of his obsession with astronomy that Copernicus later proposed the heliocentric theory, which went against the will of the Church. Fortunately, the Pope at that time did not take him seriously and just regarded the heliocentric theory as a rumor, letting it go without fiercely demanding the death of Copernicus. Therefore, Copernicus was able to have a good end. Marin did not want Copernicus to be too obsessed with astronomy, because astronomy was useless. Marin himself had hundreds of years of astronomical knowledge ahead of his time. So, no matter how great Copernicus' astronomy was, it was meaningless. Copernicus seemed to be somewhat interested in Marin's recruitment. Because Copernicus was not born into a wealthy family, his family was not well off. Even his tuition for studying in Italy was sponsored by his uncle, a bishop in Poland. Later, around 1500, Copernicus went to Rome to be a mathematics teacher because of financial difficulties. Under Marin's financial offensive, Copernicus considered accepting Marin's recruitment. Of course, he had just been in Italy for a year and had not yet graduated from the University of Bologna. Copernicus obviously did not want to end his college career early. You know, the university degree in the Middle Ages was so awesome that it would be a pity not to finish college. Therefore, Copernicus and Marin agreed to wait until graduation before making a decision. Marin was very happy with Copernicus' attitude. Copernicus was also a smart mathematician. In the future, mechanical research and development would require complex scientific calculations. Although he had also studied advanced mathematics and knew how to use calculus to calculate surfaces, his main occupation was as a lord and mercenary leader, and he did not have much time to do those complex and time-consuming mathematical calculations. Therefore, it was a good idea to capture Copernicus as a soldier. Moreover, Copernicus was a priest. If things went well in the future, he could even be the religious leader of the Wadden territory. If Marin wants to develop science and technology, he also needs the cooperation of the local bishop. Because science will inevitably conflict with religion. If there is a bishop who is firmly opposed to the development of science around Marin, the development of science will be greatly hindered. If the bishop is unhappy with your scientific development and sends a letter of complaint to Rome, Marin will be in trouble. For a religious person like Copernicus who loves science, if he were to preside over local religious affairs, there would definitely be no one to hinder the development of science. Besides, Copernicus is a very good mathematician. He can be used as a laborer to calculate ballistics, oh no, to calculate surfaces or something. If that doesn't work, he can also be used as a math and Latin teacher. However, this child's obsession with astronomy is not a good thing. After much thought, Marin decided that it would be a good idea to divert Copernicus' attention. For example, Marin decided not to let the damned astronomer de Nevera, who had seduced Copernicus into falling in love with astronomy, to seducing Copernicus at the University of Bologna. For this reason, Marin even planned to find a way to transfer this person, or simply bribe the principal to fire him. In short, whatever method is good, use it. Of course, this takes time, and Marin himself doesn't have time to do it. Fortunately, he has gold coins and can hire someone to do this. In addition, Marin decided to write out the advanced mathematics textbooks of later generations to divert and distract Copernicus' attention. In addition to his interest in astronomy, Copernicus also loved mathematics. Marin's mind was full of brain-burning things such as multiple integrals, surface integrals, Laplace transforms, Fourier transforms, etc. Write all of this down and show it to Copernicus. Even such a difficult thing can hold Copernicus back for a long time. When Copernicus came to his senses, the old man de Nevera had already been transferred away. If he couldn't be transferred away, Marin wouldn't mind using some dirty tricks to make him disappear. In fact, it was not cost-effective for Marin to go to such great lengths to recruit Copernicus. The cost was too high. However, because of his attention to celebrities in his previous life, Marin insisted on doing so even if it was not cost-effective. After all, collecting celebrities and historical figures was one of Marin's quirks. What's more, this guy was originally a prodigal son. Chapter 127, Saving a Beautiful Girl. Leaving Bologna, Marin was somewhat disappointed. He seemed not satisfied with only recruiting Leonardo da Vinci and Columbus. Of course, if other travelers knew Marin's thoughts, they would definitely beat him to death. Damn it, he has already recruited 2 great gods, but he is still not satisfied. However, this is not surprising, people are always greedy. Marin is even more greedy, wanting to do everything and wanting everything, regardless of whether his strength can keep it all. Shortly after leaving Bologna, Marin and Kahn rode ahead on horseback, while da Vinci and Columbus sat in the carriage behind. Of course, there were also a group of knights protecting and guarding them. Marin led 20 knights and galloped on the Roman road, which was very similar to the second generation of later generations racing on the road. In the process of speeding, Marin was in a much better mood. However, when Marin was riding his horse, a little white horse came from the front, and there seemed to be a beautiful girl sitting on it. Looking behind the girl, not too far away, there were 5 tall and strong knights riding their horses to chase the girl. Marin had good eyesight, and after a quick glance, he found that the girl was not very old, only about 15 or 16 years old, in the prime of her youth and very beautiful. Moreover, the girl seemed to be in a hurry. She was wearing a princess dress that was not suitable for riding a horse, and she was galloping on the horse and running for her life. Because more than 20 riders under Marin's command blocked the road, and there happened to be small rivers and irrigation canals on both sides of the road, the girl had to rein in her horse and stop, her face full of panic. Although Marin is not a flower maniac, he still has to show his gentlemanly manners when he meets a beautiful woman. However, he does not speak Italian, so he had to ask in Latin, "Miss, is there anything I can help you with?" Marin guessed that this girl, wearing an expensive silk princess dress and with such fair skin, must be a lady from a wealthy family who had never suffered hardship, and should have no problem speaking Latin. Sure enough, when the little girl heard what Marin said, she replied happily and nervously, "Thank you, sir. There are a few thugs chasing me. Please, save me." Thugs? Chasing? Marin frowned and looked at the 5 black knights who were getting closer and closer. "Stop, or I will be rude to you." Marin shouted loudly in Latin when the other party approached. The other party was stunned for a moment, reined in his horse, but soon became arrogant. "Where did you come from, little brat? How dare you stop me from doing my job? You want to die." The leader of the opposite side also understood Latin. Marin was also stunned. What's going on? Are these 5 people the legendary martial arts masters? 5 people are so arrogant in the face of more than 20 of us, but who cares? Marin was not in a good mood. Since the other party was so arrogant, there was no need to be polite. So, he said to Khan, who was holding a mace and was ready to move, "Get off your horses." "Yes, master." Khan seemed to be very interested in fighting. Hearing the order, he excitedly waved his huge mace and rushed forward. Poor these 5 black knights, all of them were one-handed swords, how could they fight against the mace? So, after a while, they were all knocked off their horses by Khan. Then, they were captured by other knights under Marin. But Marin was puzzled. Why were these scumbags so arrogant when their fighting ability was so poor? Oh no, is it some second generation? Marin decided to test the waters. "Who are you? Why are you chasing this beautiful lady?" Still in Latin, still in the familiar voice. Of the 5 people on the other side, only the leader could speak Latin. At this point, he also saw that the situation was unfavorable, but he still insisted, "Boy, do you know who we are? Do you want to?" Marin stroked his forehead and thought to himself, "This guy is really stupid. He is already in my hands, but he still speaks harshly. If you really have a powerful background and are still unwilling to let me go, aren't you forcing me to kill and silence me?" Marin left this idiot behind and started chatting with the pretty girl. "Miss, what's your name? Why are they chasing you?" "My name is Angela della Capes, and my father is Berardino de Capes of the Capes family." "This damn girl is lying. Her name is Angela della Rovere. She is the illegitimate offspring of the Rovere family and the illegitimate daughter of the Black Cardinal Rovere." The leader of the men in black shouted at the side. After hearing about the Rovere family, Marin was immediately shocked. What? The Rovere family? Isn't that the family of Julius II, the Pope of War? During this period, Julius II was forced to flee Rome and go to France to seek refuge with Charles VIII because he was the mortal enemy of the reigning Pope Alexander VI. When the Black Knight said that the girl was the illegitimate daughter of Julius II, Marin did not believe it. Because Marin remembered that he had read relevant history and it seemed that Julius II had only one illegitimate daughter, named Felice della Rovere, and there was no illegitimate daughter named Angela. In fact, Marin didn't know that Julius' main mistress, Lucrezia Normani, gave birth to 3 daughters. Among them, the eldest daughter died young, and the second daughter was Angela, who was just 15 years old. Originally in history, Angela did not live to adulthood, and only Felice lived to adulthood. In fact, Angela died in this pursuit. Angela seemed a little overwhelmed, not knowing how to explain to Marin. But Marin didn't know that she was Julius's illegitimate daughter. Even if her last name was Rovere, she was probably a branch of the Rovere family. Thinking that Julius II would take over as Pope in a few years and would have great influence, Marin made a plan and decided to save the girl who had a close relationship with the Rovere family. However, when the arrogant man in black opposite introduced himself, Marin was also dumbfounded. It turned out that this group of men in black came from the famous Borgia family, which is the family of the current Pope Alexander VI. Marin was frightened by the origins of this group of people, and they were assassins raised by the Borgia family. If Alexander VI knew that he had stopped the assassins of their family from assassinating their targets, wouldn't he be dead? As long as the Pope gave a call, there would be plenty of people to beat him up. However, Marin suddenly remembered one thing, that is, everyone present, except himself, Angela, and the leader of the men in black, seemed to not understand Latin. Marin thought about it and realized that if he ignored the girl and watched her die today, then when Julius II ascended the throne in the future, he would inevitably blame him. Because, if the Borgia family could send 5 assassins to hunt him down, he must be an important person. A minor figure from the side branch was not worth using assassins for. Moreover, today Marin discovered that the Borgia family assassinated an important member of the Rovere family. In order to cover up the scandal, Alexander VI might send someone to kill him. For example, he might send a killer to kill him, or give him some Cantrera poison and poison him to death. Thinking of this, Marin couldn't help but tremble. However, thinking of some scenes from the palace fighting drama, Marin suddenly had a fierce look in his eyes. Since I had discovered the good deeds of the Borgia family, they would inevitably remember me in the future, so why not just kill these guys and destroy the bodies? In this way, the Borgia family would not know that I had ruined their good deeds. And when Julius II ascended the throne, the Rovere family would know that I had saved his family members, and they would have a good impression of me. There would always be some benefits, big or small. Besides, except for himself and Angela, no one else present could understand Latin, and they didn't know that the men in black in front of them were from the Borgia family, so they were not worried about the risk of leaks. As for Angela, she would not be so heartless as to reveal her savior to the Borgia family. So, with a fierce look in his eyes, Marin ordered his men kill all these bandits, and then dig a pit to bury them. Marin was ruthless and decided to kill them and destroy the bodies. Seeing that Marin's soldiers were digging 5 pits in the grass by the roadside, the leader of the men in black seemed to realize something and shouted, "You can't kill me. I am a direct descendant of the Borgia family, and my cousin is the Pope." Unexpectedly, when this guy said this, the fierce light in Marin's eyes became even stronger. "Nimad, since you are the Pope's cousin, now that I have offended you like this, I can't let you go. Khan, be quick." After 5 muffled thuds, the 5 men in black were all dead. Then, Marin sent his men to throw the bodies of the 5 people into the pit. However, before throwing them into the pit, Marin's bad habit of playing games in his previous life came back again, touching the corpses. Marin took out a small bag of gold coins and a packet of medicine powder from the arms of this Borgia family member named Umberto. On the outside of the bag, it was written in Latin, Cantrera. Oh my God! The legendary poison used exclusively by the Borgia family? Marin's hands shook violently. Marin put the gold coins and poison packs into his pocket, and then ordered people to bury the bodies of these guys, and even the saddles and other things that were very characteristic of the family. Then, the 5 horses were checked, and after finding no special marks, they were taken away together. However, before taking them away, Marin sent people to sprinkle all the 5 horses with dust, making them dirty. Even if people who have seen these horses saw them, they would not recognize them at a glance. After dealing with the 5 Borgia assassins, Marin saw the beautiful girl Angela standing by, trembling with fear. Angela was terrified. She was very happy after getting rid of the assassins of the Borgia family with the help of Marin. Unexpectedly, the gentleman who saved her turned into a murderous demon in the blink of an eye. Angela came to Bologna this time with her nominal father Capes. But in a small town near Bologna, she was exposed. So Umberto of the Borgia family chased her with several assassins. On the way to escape, she and her adoptive father Capes were separated. Moreover, now, Angela and her adoptive father are also homeless. Because the Borgia family is doing their best to attack the Rovere family, many important family members have suffered misfortune. Her father Rovere fled to Paris. And her mother Lucrezia and sister Felice fled to Genoa. Originally, Capes took Angela to Genoa to reunite with her mother and sister. Unexpectedly, Angela and Capes were separated under the pursuit of the Borgia family. Moreover, Angela didn't know where her mother and sister were hiding in Genoa. So, Angela was confused. She didn't know where to go, and her safety could not be guaranteed. After hearing this, Marin rolled his eyes and, with a few words, tricked the beautiful girl into going with him. Actually, it can't be considered a lie. It is indeed very dangerous for a little girl to go on the road alone. Without anyone to protect her, she might be targeted by bad guys. Marin asked the short and thin Kohler for a spare set of clean men's clothes for Angela to change into. Then, the thin Angela mixed in with a group of knights and set off together. Near Bologna, the Borgia family sent a large number of people to block all the main roads and desperately track down a beautiful girl. However, Angela put on men's clothes, put a fake beard on her face according to Marin's instructions, smeared dust on her face, and mixed in with a group of knights. How could the Borgia family find her? So, Marin successfully abducted the girl, left Italy, and headed towards the Wadden Islands. Chapter 128, Rare Goods. The Borgia family was indeed powerful and had a lot of people. When in Italy, Marin's team was repeatedly checked. Moreover, the Borgia family was very smart. In order to prevent Angela from disguising herself as a man, they also screened those short and handsome boys one by one. For example, the unfortunate Kohler was stopped and inspected by the Borgia family members in the name of the Vatican Inquisition because of his short stature and delicate appearance. In order to prevent Kohler from being a woman dressed as a man, the inspectors also pinched Kohler's chest to distinguish between men and women. Marlin almost burst out laughing. Although these guys were careful, they still didn't expect that Marlin put a fake beard on Angela and covered her face with dust. The Borgia family was ordered to check women and short, handsome boys. Unfortunately, Angela, who was wearing a fake beard, could not look handsome, so he passed the test easily. In fact, the Borgia family was quite smart. However, Marin had watched many spy movies, and applying a fake beard was a basic skill. In fact, when he was performing in a college drama, Marin had also learned to apply a fake beard and simple makeup. With the support of Marin's makeup skills, Angela left Italy with Marin's team without any danger, and also left the Borgia family's interrogation range. After all, the only territory the Pope can really influence is Italy. Outside of Italy, the Pope only has appeal, not control. After leaving Italy, Marin still divided the team into two parts. He led Angela and 20 men in front, while Da Vinci and Columbus followed the people behind. The reason for this is that Marin is worried that Angela will meet Da Vinci or Columbus and be seen. Since Angela is a member of the Rovere family, she cannot be exposed to others, even Da Vinci and Columbus. Because Da Vinci and Columbus were just recruits, not his loyal subordinates. Moreover, they both knew Latin. If they were allowed to communicate with Angela and see something, it would be bad. For this reason, Marin specifically told Angela, don't talk to strangers, which is to protect Angela as well as Marin himself. However, Angela is still a little girl after all. Although she can ride a horse, her inner thighs have been worn out after a long time. Sadly, Angela is a spoiled noble lady. Although she has a good temper, she has poor self-care ability. So, Comrade Marin helplessly helped to buy medicine from the pharmacy along the way, and personally helped Angela apply the medicine. Looking at Angela's white thighs, Marin couldn't help but feel distracted. Although Angela was young, she knew the difference between men and women, and her face turned red with shame. It seems that marrying into the Rovere family is also a good choice. Marin thought to himself. From the fact that the Borgia family specially sent assassins to hunt down Angela, Marin could conclude that Angela must be an important member of the Rovere family. Even if she was not the illegitimate daughter of Julius II as Umberto said, she must be the daughter of Julius II's brother. Otherwise, the Borgia family would not have sent a direct member like Umberto to hunt her down. Speaking of which, the 4 assassins brought by Umberto are all good at swordsmanship. If it comes to a sword fight, they can fight 2 or even 3 at once. However, Marin's men have a bug called Khan, who uses a mace to hit. How can a thin one-handed sword be a match for a violent mace? Therefore, Umberto and his 4 expert swordsmen were stunned. But Marin was also from an aristocratic family who had practiced swordsmanship, so he naturally saw that the swordsmanship of the few people was very good. Therefore, he also realized the importance of Angela's status. Therefore, he tried to abduct Angela out of Italy and bring her back to Varden. However, Marin did not want others to know that he had abducted a girl back from Italy, because if the news reached Rome, the Borgia family would definitely react and infer the truth. So, Marin and Angela discussed and asked Angela to pretend to be a German girl. Fortunately, Angela also knew German, although not very much. So, along the way, whenever Marin stayed in a hotel at night, he would teach Angela to speak German and help her make up a German name, Hannah. Although the name is a bit rustic, it is very German. In the middle of the night, Marin lay in bed, thinking about a lot of things. Through communication, he could already conclude that Angela was an important member of the Rovere family, and a direct descendant. Before, Marin had been worrying about the choice of wife. According to his current status, he was only suitable to marry into a baron family. However, marrying a baron's daughter would not help him much. And the daughter of a duke and earl could not possibly marry a baron like him. Moreover, he was a nouveau riche, new nobleman under the emperor. Those old nobles were unlikely to be willing to marry Marin. Therefore, Marin's marriage is a bit awkward. However, the appearance of Angela from the Rovere family pointed out a new direction for Marin, to marry the Pope's family. Damn it, if this idea was normal, people would definitely scold him. However, the current situation gave Marin an opportunity. Because the Rovere family, to which Julius II, who would later become Pope, belonged, was bullied like dogs by the Borgia family of the current Pope Alexander VI, and was in such a state of destitution that even the members of the Rovere family dared not show up in public, lest they be assassinated by the mafia-like Borgia family. Therefore, this is the best time to form an alliance with the Rovere family. If Julius II ascends the throne and becomes Pope, I, a baron, probably won't even be worthy of carrying someone's shoes. You know, only a count is qualified to lick the Pope's boots. Angela was a very pretty girl, and she had received a very good education. Marin had been with her for a long time, and he did not find any bad temper in Angela. This was completely different from Felice, another illegitimate daughter of Julius II, in the history books Marin had read. Felice relied on her father being the Pope and was very arrogant. Moreover, the Pope also doted on her. An illegitimate daughter actually married the famous Duke of Bracciano in Italy and married the son of the Duke. More importantly, this was a second marriage. As for Felice's first marriage, it was probably next year, when Felice was 15 years old, and she probably got married in the countryside of Genoa. Her husband was a stranger. According to Marin's estimation, Felice and her mother were in trouble, and in order to survive, they just married Felice to a countryman. But after Julius II ascended the throne as Pope, this marriage became a disgrace. Then, Felice became single again. Pope Julius II then married Felice to the son of the Duke of Bracciano. You know, although Felice is the Pope's daughter, she is only an illegitimate daughter and has been married. The Duke of Bracciano's family is a powerful family, so they are naturally not happy. But under the pressure of Julius II, they had to accept. This is good enough, but Alexander VI went even further. In order to seek personal gain for his family, Alexander VI even made his son Giovanni the Duke of Gandia, and planned to give Caesar a duchy as well. Marin didn't know that Angela was the illegitimate daughter of Julius II, and thought that Angela was the niece of Julius II. Even so, Marin made a lot of money. He became the son-in-law of the Rovere family, and he had enough military strength. If the emperor refused to give him the title of count, Julius II could find a way to get himself a title of count if he ascended the throne as pope. Even if Angela was favored, she could get him a title of duke. Of course, forget about the title of duke in Germany, but she could get a title of duke in Italy. Thinking of this, Marin's heart became hot. Duke, Earl. Now he has enough military force, and the territory can be expanded. The only thing he lacks is the title. Without a high enough title, even if you expand your territory, others will not recognize you. If you have the title of Earl, you can barely participate in the big game of hegemony among the princes. If he could cling to the Rovere family, at least during the reign of Julius II, no one would dare to mess with him. Because the thigh he was clinging to was too strong. So, the next day, Marin looked at Angela with a different look, full of desire, which scared the little girl a little. In fact, Marin did not want to overthrow the little girl, but felt that the little girl was an important help for him to obtain the title of Duke and Earl. Looking at Angela, Marin suddenly remembered an illusion in his heart: rare goods are valuable. Didn't Lu Buwei invest in the impoverished Qin Iran because he saw the possibility that he could become the king of Qin? Angela, who invested in the Rovere family, also calculated that Julius II would become the pope. Moreover, others could not see this. Therefore, I can also learn from Lu Buwei and take advantage of the rare goods, occupy this little girl Angela, and wait for her value to increase. Moreover, the girl is pretty good, good-looking, good-tempered, well-educated, and can provide the pope with this super thick thigh in the future. She is perfect no matter how you look at her.